Doctor Who, Attack of the Cybermen, the second story of the 6th Doctor, is written by Paula Moore and starring Colin Baker and Nicola Bryant. So season 22 is moved back to Saturday. Last time they did that was season 18. Unlike the other classic episodes, all 13 episodes in the season are 45 minutes long, and all split into two-parters, except the two Doctors, three-parter story. So John Nathan Turner wanted to build up more interesting stuff in the season by repairing the TARDIS chameleon circuit, and said that it might be a permanent development, but never pursued the idea after this story. Patrick Mulcairn said Matthew Robinson, the director, forced the lighting crew to keep the sewer scenes dark and effectively creepy, and had the idea of changing the client from a male to female. The story is also credited Paula Moore, an alias for Paula Woosley. Few separate accounts offer differing versions of who actually authored the story. Between Ian Levine, Eric Saywood and Paula Woosley, this season has a great opening with something mysterious going on in the London sewers, where the builders get attacked. The Doctor fixes the chameleon circuit. Perry was worried because it was only recent that he regenerated. We get the return of Commander Lytton, now mercenary Lytton, created his gang of criminals for a new task. And I love the fact that the TARDIS changes into painted French dresser in 76 Trotters Lane in London 1985, the same junkyard where we first saw the TARDIS in An Earthly Child, which is a nice callback. It was pretty intense when we saw two of policemen watching them, the same ones from Resurrection of the Daleks in Peter Davison, the 5th Doctor's era. Meanwhile, Lytton and the gang went down to the sewers, and we get a brilliant scene where Cybermen shows up. One of the gang has died. On Telos at the quarry we have two prisoners, Bates and Stratton, attacking the Cybermen to make their escape and planning to get to the Cyber Control building. I find pretty amusing where the TARDIS lands at another junkyard as an organ. Second evil policeman arrives and held the Doctor and Perry at gunpoint. Luckily the Doctor went down the sewers with one of them and knocked him out. The other one, Perry, throws scraps at him, yanked the gun off him and got tied up with handcuffs. As they went down the sewers, the Doctor and Perry meets Russell, held them at gunpoint. The Doctor resisted him. The bit where he tells Perry to shoot him, I was like, whoa! We find out that he's undercover police officer, and we get a brilliant scene where the Doctor shoves his sonic lance in the Cyberman's chest. As they got out and ran back in the TARDIS, the Cybermen are in, Russell gets killed, Lynn and Griffith walks in, and we get an intense cliffhanger where Cybermen are about to kill Perry. Colin Baker is brilliant as the 6th Doctor. He's got some great action scenes. Nicola Bryant is great as Perry Brown. Maurice Colburn reprised the role as Gustav Lytton, who previously appeared in Resurrection of the Daleks, who's a mercenary who worked for the Daleks and later for the Kryans. And I think he's brilliant as Lytton. I really like that character. David Banks is great as Cyber Leader. Michael Kilgareth is also great as Cyber Controller, one of my favourite villains. I also like Brian Orrell as Cyber Lieutenant. The idea of neomorph Cybermen carrying blasters like stormtroopers from Star Wars is great. I also like the idea of stealth Cyberman. What makes them terrifying is that you never know if they're here, or getting attacked, or killed by them. I also like that they use excellent as a catchphrase like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. Excellent. Whereas Emperor Palpatine uses good as his catchphrase. Ryan Glover plays Charles Griffith, was a criminal hired by Lytton. He does a great job. A Davros actor, Terry Malloy, plays Detective Sergeant Vincent Russell, an undercover police officer assigned to infiltrate Lytton's gang. I really like that guy. It's a shame that they killed him off. Jonathan David and Michael Atwell plays Lintus Stratton and Eric Goose Bates, who are the prisoners of Cybermen. They originated from Hatra Sedtri and sort of converted into Cybermen. I thought they're pretty badass. In the novel, Stratton is given the first name of Lintus and is said to hold the rank of Flight Leader. They are both said to come from the planet Hatra Sedtri, in the star system known as Repton's Cluster, which is pretty interesting. James Beckett plays Coffin Nail. Joe, aka Joe Payne, is also a criminal hired by Lytton. He's great too. Faith Brown plays Flast, a Kryan who got captured and imprisoned by the Cybermen. She gives off great performance. Sarah Green and Sarah Berger play as Vaughn, and Rost, a Cryans, a crystalline humanoid from Telos that saved Perry from Cybermen. The actresses give off great performance as well. The music by Malcolm Clark is brilliant. I like that the soundtrack from Earthshock is being reused for 1980s Cybermen theme. The direction by Matthew Robinson is brilliant also. Casts have done a great job. The effects are decent. The Doctor agrees to work with Cybermen if they don't kill Perry, so the leader reconsiders that decision. The Doctor, Perry, Lytton and Griffiths are in the other room. The Doctor believes Cyber Controller is dead as the events of the Tomb of the Cybermen. He also recalls meeting Lytton before as he was working with the Daleks. Also Mondas getting destroyed a year later in 1986, which is where the 10th planet is set in. Awesome callbacks. So the TARDIS arrived on Catacombs in Telos. Cyberman gets attacked by another Cyberman. The Doctor and Perry are saved by Cryans. We learn that they hired Lytton to help them to stop the Cybermen from destroying Telos. Flast explains that few Cryans survived the Cybermen purges. They are fighting a guerrilla war, sabotaging the tombs to delay their revivals. She outlines the Cybermen's plans to prevent Mondas' destruction by travelling back in time, Vessel, and diverting Halley's comet into Earth before Mondas has absorbed in too much energy. Lytton and Griffith met up with two escaped prisoners as Lytton is captured and they try to reach to Cyber Controller. Griffiths, Bates and Stratton were killed. Lytton is getting converted, which looks pretty grim. Also the bit where Cybermen killed Flash was pretty grim as well, putting her out of the freezing area so she can burn to death. As the Doctor came to the rescue, wondering why didn't Lytton say something, the Cyber Controller came by with the Cybermen, and we get an awesome action scenes where the Doctor picks up the Cyber Blasters and shooting all the Cybermen in the room. After that, Lytton dies, which is a sad scene. Cyber Control goes kaboom after the Cybermen discovers the explosives. In the end, the Doctor said he didn't think he misjudged anyone as bad as Lytton. Great stuff in there. What did you think of Attack of the Clones? I mean Cybermen. Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.